All right, your narrator believes that you prompted me I think we're sort of synced up. Um, no, not one of the most frustrating things, just generally, but when with it is that people who when they say, "Oh, geez, what's going on in right now with this healthcare thing?" They if they don't, well, I don't believe what I'm hearing, or I want to know the facts. Like that, there for some reason it appears to be like like educated people can't help out a person who's like asking, a younger person or something. So like, let me to say the things I said sort of in the other video, like what I'm gonna put like the put more of a like just say something else about a big picture about things. One of the things is that people like your narrator who get accused of being like, I don't know, nationalist, what are the words they use. The other one is that people mean are protectionists. One of the things about part of this like thought disorder that got imposed on people about like these words like free trade and protectionism is a bad word and free trade is a good word and those kind of things. You see, it's actually really simple to understand if anyone wanted to tell anybody else, is all the ways in which our our economy, and that means for investors and workers both, is unprotected. Okay. And it's not just that people say, well, gee, real quick, especially people who call themselves like Republican very often. I don't know what they mean. What I'm supposed to be with some national orientation, at least. No, they're very quick to say, oh, well, you can't protect certain kinds of jobs. You're going to go overseas to high repression areas. That's the way it works or something. But they understand all the different ways in which our economy is at this time, and had been moving there for the past, getting worse and worse over my lifetime, is unprotected. Okay, so what I said in the other video, I said, well, one of the sort of secret behind this like political theater they're doing is that it probably in the background is that we can't move. Reason we can't move towards a national healthcare system, like telling people that 50% of the country opposes it. We don't know if that's true or where they're getting that from. But the reason we can't move towards a national healthcare system, move towards new waves of green production and high-paying production jobs, move towards a functioning economy and growing stock market, and not live with this situation, high wages and the stock market growing and green technology and healthcare. Why none of this can actually happen is because of all the ways in which our economy is unprotected. Okay, so for example, like I said, that kind of growth, positive growth, the economics of it is that, right, I mean, if positive economic growth dips the value of the currency, but not in a way that's bad. That's not bad. If the currency, it drops in value slightly because we are building our national economy, that's a good thing. That is a good thing, but it's part of what happens when you build the infrastructure, the national economy, move towards national health care. These are all positive things and positive in the long run for an economy, but it drops the value of the currency for a time. Okay, well, we face the same problems every single other society, but it's much worse in what's called the developing world. Right, the minute it would appear that the political class is making moves that are called irrational by transnational, like institutional investors and things, and the Royal Bank of Scotland and whoever else is in that Interalpha banking network, if it's perceived that they're doing something, the political class is doing something like that, growing their economy and helping their people in that way, well, that dips the value of the currency. We live under threat of capital flight, meaning they'll sell off billions and billions of dollars and buy up a currency that's not dipping. That's the problem. We live on, that's one way, but part of it is, why do we live under threat of that kind of capital flight? In a lot of Asian countries, China doesn't, and the reason for that is they still have capital controls. What happened in our lifetime is that, right, there's no control on, this isn't the regulation thing people talk about, like regulating business domestically. No. This is controls on movement of capital in and out of countries, okay? in a lot of other countries, I'm certain in China, see if someone were to buy up $1 billion, billion yen, okay, they have to hold it for, say, 5 years. Or if they were to invest $1 billion in the Chinese economy, it has to remain there for 5 to 10 years. You can't pull billions of dollars in and out, otherwise it would keep collapsing, and also it would threaten democracy, in the sense of, like, if the political class wants to do something, like build a national healthcare system, build the roads, do that kind of growth. Right. I mean, every time that happened and the currency dipped, everyone would pull their money out. Well, that's what happens here. We live under threat of capital flight from gigantic, European banks and, Saudi Arabia and whoever else holds our currency. But our entire economy is unprotected at all times in a variety of ways that go just beyond keeping jobs here. It's much more extensive, and it means that's what people have to realize and start to realize that if you want to live in a place where we're not all, where it's just not wrecked economically, including for the investor class, we're now in a low-wage, low-growth equilibrium that never changes except when there's a bubble that then crashes. No, people have to start understanding a protectionist mindset and all the ways in which our economy is unprotected at all times from foreign interests. We're actually having the same problems that, what we call third world countries have. We're a very wealthy country. May not be come to mind that that's the source.